Hello class 8, how are you? I hope everybody is fit and fine. Now in today's class, we will study the third chapter of your book, that is migration. Now let us first understand what is migration. Migration is the movement of people from one place to another with the intention of settling down in a new place. We can also say migration is the movement of people from their home to another city, state or country for job, shelter or other reasons, other purposes. Now human migration is distinctly different from tourism, travel, vacation, holidays, etc. As in these cases, there is no intention of settling down in a new location. For example, if you in your holidays, if you go to your relative's house or somewhere you go to visit in some tourist place, so you don't settle over there, isn't it? We come back to our home after our vacations are over or after some days. So this cannot be said as migration. There is also one more example, like the nomadic tribes. They keep on traveling from one place to another. Okay, so the nomadic tribes are also not considered to be migration, as they do not settle permanently in any place they visit. They keep on moving from one place to another place, so we can't say it as migration. Okay, now after I hope everybody have understood what is migration. So now we will understand that there are two important terms related to migration, that is immigration and emigration. You can see in your book here, immigration and emigration. So first let us understand, one by one we will study, we will learn about immigration and emigration. Okay children, then let us first understand what is immigration. Immigration refers to the movement of people into a country from another location. We can also say that immigration is the process of coming to live permanently in a country. It means to move into a non-native country or region to live. The people who move into another country are called immigrants. Immigration increases the population of a country. For example, if people of any other country comes to live in India, we will call them immigrants. If they permanently come to settle down and live in India permanently, we call those people immigrants. Now these kind of people who are the immigrants, they increase the population of the country. Next, let us see what is emigration. Now emigration refers to the movement of people from a country to another. If people are moving from one country to another country, moving away from the country, we say that it is immigration. So immigration refers to the movement of people from a country to another. It is a process of people leaving one country to reside in another country. We can also say that immigration is the act of leaving a resident country or place with the intention of settling elsewhere, means going to another place, another region or another country and settling down over there. The people who leave their country and move elsewhere, they are called emigrants. So emigrants decreases the population of a country. So let us see some examples. Now children, many people from our country, they also move to another countries to settle down over there. For example, people from India, they move to Saudi Arabia, Singapore, South Africa, Malaysia, Indonesia, Canada, and they permanently settle down in those countries. So these people are called, they will be emigrants for India. For India, these people who move out of the country and live in another country, they are called emigrants. So now let us see about 10 lakhs people, 10 lakhs Indian, they live in Canada, and from the 10 lakh people who live in Canada, 7 lakhs are from Punjab. So we can see that how many these to another country, they are called emigrants. So we can say that the people who move away from their country to go and live in some other country, to settle down in some other country, these people are called emigrants, and this process is called emigration. So in this way we can see that the population decreases. Emigration decreases the population of a place. Now there are many causes of migration. Okay, so now we will understand what are the causes of migration. Now there are two factors. There are two factors that on which migration depends. Okay, so we call them push factors and pull factors. Okay, so let us understand what is push factors. You understand the meaning of push? Push means pushing away. Okay, so the push factors are the factors which compel the people to move from the country and go and settle down in some other country. And pull factors are the attraction which the country, the attraction of some country who pulls the immigrants towards them. Okay, so let us understand what are the push factors and the pull factors. So we will discuss the push factors first. Okay, so the push factors may include unemployment. Okay, so maybe people are not getting proper job in the area, or wages are very low. So all these this factor is known as the unemployment. So due to unemployment also, people move to another country where they get better job opportunities. Next is poor access to infrastructural facilities. Like if in a country or in a region, educational facilities are not good, medical facilities are not good. So and these are the basic facilities which everybody needs, isn't it? So people move from that country or region and go to some other better place. The next is poor safety and security of a place. Now if there is no security, there is theft in a country, pickpocketing in a place, so we see that people are not secure in this kind of places. Okay, so they like moving from those places and going to another country to live. High crime rate of the area, the same thing. If the safety and security is not good, the crime rate will be high. Okay, and so people will not like to live in those places, so they move to other places. So all these are the push factors. Now next is crop failure due to harsh weather condition. Now if the place is suffering from the natural calamities, often suffer from the natural calamities and natural disasters such as drought, flood, earthquake, etc. So people don't like to live in such kind of place or region or a country. So they move from these type of places and they like to go and live in some better place. So this is also one of the push cause why people migrate or why people emigrate. Now political or religious intolerance, this is also one of the biggest, a very big cause. In some country there is conflicts. Okay, regularly they are in war with other countries. So people don't like to live in such country. Like for example, we can see the example of Syria. People are suffering a lot due to war over there. So these are called political intolerance. Okay, so if one more thing about the political intolerance, I would like to say that if in a place there is a humiliation of human rights, okay, if the there is a religious intolerance, and there is conflict between people of the country or a region due to religious intolerance, if there is terrorism in a country, all these are due to political unrest. Okay, children. So that's why people do not like to live in such places, and so they migrate and go away to the different region or different country to live. So political or religious intolerance is also one of the push factors. Next we see war or conflicts in a country. Just now we discussed that if a country is regularly in war with other country, or there is a conflict within the country from with one state to another state. Okay. So people do not like to live in such places, and they move in some other countries. Okay. So these are the push factors, some of the push factors which compel or which influence migration. Now what are the pull factors? Let us study about the pull factors. Okay. So first we see potential of employment. Children, students, some countries, they give better opportunity to employment, or some region also, maybe industrial region, or there are certain countries which have mining industries. So they give a lot of opportunity for employment. So people loves to move in those country so that they can get better job opportunities, better employment. So the most common cause of immigration or emigration is a potential of employment or job opportunities. Okay. For example, we can say that about 1.54 million Indians, they live in Saudi Arabia and they work in the mining industries. So here we see that how the job opportunity is attracting or pulling people from different other countries to go to that region, Saudi Arabia, and work over there. They get handsome wages over there. So people who are unemployed, mostly from the country where the population is very high. Okay. So everybody do not get better job opportunities in those countries. So unemployed people, they move to some other countries where they get job opportunities. Now let us see better service provisions. Okay. So if a place is having schools, colleges, railways, post office, and all these infrastructure facilities, medical facilities, educational facilities, so people love living in those places. So this is also a pull factor which attract people to live in that area. Now a safe atmosphere. Okay. So everybody likes to live in a safe atmosphere. So if the atmosphere is safe, if there is less crime rate, low crime rate, we can see the next one is the low crime rate. If the crime rate is low, people feel safe over there. So people like living in those kind of area. And also we can say that if the climate is a safe atmosphere also can refer to safer place to live in, like the place which is having less hazards, drought and flood, earthquake occurs less over there. So we can say this is also a safer atmosphere for people to live in those areas. Now low crime rate, it is a very important thing. Everybody want to live a cool and calm life, isn't it? Nobody likes that a place where crime rate means pickpocketing, theft. Okay. So where the places where these are practiced, so people don't like to live in those areas. Okay. Next is fertile land. Okay. So of course fertile land is very important because most of the population in the world are dependent on agriculture. Okay. So if the land is not fertile, people doesn't like to live in those areas. Okay, people like to live where the land is fertile, so that the crop production is good. All right. So next comes good food supplies. So we can see that if the land is fertile, the food supply will be good. Okay, this is related, fertile land leads to enough production of food, and that can lead to good food supplies. Okay, if the land is infertile and the production of food is not good in that place, naturally the supply of the food will be less, so or will be bad food supply. So that kind of places people don't like to live in. So the people would like to live in the place which is fertile and the food supply is good, so people like living in those areas. Next comes less risk of natural hazard. Just now we talked about it. If the place is free from earthquake, cyclone, flood, drought, so people like living in such kind of places. Now greater wealth, that means rich country, which a rich country attracts people to live because they provide a very good better lifestyle. Okay, so standard lifestyle, so people like living in such areas. Now political security. Okay, so just now we understood what is political security. Means political condition is calm, there is no political unrest in the place, people like living in those areas. Everybody can enjoy the fundamental right, so this is also a political security. Now if there is no war with any other countries, so we call it a political security. No internal conflicts within states and political parties, no religious dispute among the people, so we can say that it is a political security. Okay, if the climate is attractive, favorable climate, people do not like living in the harsh climate. And now we can see that very less people live in the polar region. Nobody like to live in the frigid zone, because the temperature is cool over there, very cold. Okay, it's very difficult to survive. So we can say that the population is very less, or somewhere there is no population, so nobody likes to live in such harsh climate. So attractive climate pulls is also a pull factor which pulls people towards it to live over there, and better quality of life. So all these are the pull factors which attract people to come and live. Okay children, so now we will study that there are several causes of migration. Okay, and we can categorize it into 4 categories. Now here we see the four categories. One is social cause, political cause, environmental cause, and one more is the economic cause. So let us understand one by one. So what can be said as a social cause? Now social causes, people migrate in a hope of better lifestyle or to live close to family or friend. Movement due to marriage is an example of social migration. Now suppose a girl is married and she has to go to live with her in-laws. Okay, and maybe they are living in some different region or different country. Or if a girl is married and her husband lives in some other countries, he is doing job in some other country, so she moves with her husband or with her in-law family to another country. So this cause, this is also a kind of migration, and this is a social cause of migration. Now we can also say that if a person is living in another country and he wants his parents to come, he is well settled over there. Now he wants his parents to move and to live with him. So when his parents or relatives, they go to live with permanently with his son in another country, we can tell it a social cause. So in this way there are many social cause. Next comes the political cause. Okay. So political cause like war and political intolerance, all these are the political conflicts. Just now we studied about the political conditions. Okay. So if the political condition is not calm, okay, if there is a political intolerance in an area, so people move to live in some other area. So we call it a political cause. Just now we discussed a lot about the political cause, like if the political condition is not calm, if there is no political if there is a political unrest in a region, if people are not allowed to practice their fundamental rights properly, if the country is with war regularly with another country. So and if there is a religious dispute, nowadays we see that there are religious disputes in many countries. Okay. So all these are the political cause. People do not like to live in those areas. For example, we can also see that many Kashmiri Pandits were faced religious intolerance and political intolerance in Kashmir, and they had to move to another place. Okay. They moved to different places, they left Kashmir. So all these are the examples of political cause. Now next is the environmental cause. This also we just now studied, that extreme weather condition and natural disasters like earthquakes, tsunami, volcanic eruptions, drought, all these are also the reason of migration, and these regions known as the environmental cause. Okay. Next, see the economic cause. Again we studied about this in the push and the pull factors, like people migrate to find work or better career opportunities than they had in their home countries. So this is a economic cause. Just now we discussed that many people move to other countries for better job opportunities. So this is the economic cause. So in this chapter we have learned about what is migration, and we also learned about the immigration and emigration. Here we go. We have studied about the immigration and emigration. Then we studied about the causes of migration, okay, and the two factors, that is the pull factors and the push factors. Okay. Here we go with the pull factors and the push factors which compel the people for immigration or emigration. And then we studied the social, political and environmental causes of environmental and economical causes of migration. Okay. So in the next video we will study about the type of migration and we will also study different aspects of migration. So I hope everybody understood the chapter, and see you again in the next video. Till then, goodbye, take care.